John Oakes here with HANKSTERS Hot Rods, coming to you here from our new facility here in Homer City, PA. And I've got for you today our newest addition to our inventory, this being a 1972 Chevrolet Nova. It's got the SS styling cues to it, so we just say it's an SS styled car, but not a true SS. So as we do with all of our vehicles, we're going to go ahead and start with it on the lift. Start at the back here, we'll work our way to the front and just kind of point out to you exactly what we see underneath the car here. So here we go. Underneath the back here, obviously you see we've got the stock fuel tank back here. This looks to be a fairly new item here on the car. You can tell how good a shape that fuel tank is. There's no dents or dings in it whatsoever. Again, all the mounting hardware is good, and even the fuel fill deck, see how nice that is. Again, got to be a new unit here underneath this car. As far as out here at the ends, we have Mastercraft Avenger GT tires. These are all mounted up on 15-inch steel factory rally wheels, and those do have the beauty rings and the center caps on them. Again, those 15-inch wheels, all four corners, and Mastercraft Avenger GT tires, all four corners, matching tread. Then inside of there, we've got, well, up inside here, we've got drum brakes on the rear. And it looks like they've got all new brake lining run here, you know, your hard lines, and they've got this spiral wound stuff around it here to help protect those around any bends or kinks in the line to prevent that from kinking over. And they've got it attached to the rear housing here real nice, and then you'll see it goes all the way up along the rocker up underneath here, all the way up to the front where the master cylinder is. So all the brake lines are good shape here. We've got multi-leaf rear suspension. Looks like they've gone ahead and put in these new spring shackles back here too, and that gives you just a little bit more lift on the rear end, so you can put a little more rake into the car there and give it a little better stance. We've got a pair of air shocks back here. They've got the air lines run all the way across to a centralized nozzle, and it looks to be that that's poked up through the trunk floor, so you'll be able to fill those up. Once again, you can get the rear end up a little bit higher than what you typically would have with just stock suspension. We've got a GM 10-bolt rear end, and that is the 8.5-inch ring gear. You can tell because of these the lugs on the bottom side of the rear housing. That signifies an 8.5-inch ring gear. So some people call that the Big 10. So it's a little bit stronger, heavier duty carrier, ring and pinion, so forth in there. And then obviously you can see the dual exhaust all the way from the long tube headers up front, all new tubing back here, dual mufflers, and then we've got tailpipes here up over top the rear end, and they exit out obviously between the quarter panel and the leaf spring back here. Again, all the pipes, all nice shape, all the bends, it looks to be all mandrel bent tubing, and all the spring hangers, or the spring hangers, muffler hangers, exhaust hangers, those are all intact and in good shape too. They're good and solid. Those aren't going to let loose anytime soon whatsoever. Okay, now that we're underneath the center of our 72 Nova, we can take a little better look here and see what our floors look like. A little better picture of the exhaust here now, drive shaft, front side of the rear end, mufflers, all that stuff. So again, the floors being the main thing underneath here, the floors look in really good shape on this. They look to be the original pans, and they're all intact. There's no holes here. Now the only thing that I do see is I see the one patch right up under here, like under the driver foot box here, but they use the correct metal for it. They just put a small patch in there, seam sealed it all, so it looks good there. Again, correct metal, so that's fine. The rest of the floors, like I said, are in excellent shape. You can see they've run all new fuel line back to that fuel tank, and it's all stainless braided line, and they've got it anchored up here with these rubberized clips here up along the frame and along the floor all the way back, so that's real nice stuff there. The brake lines, like I said, looks like they've run all new brake lines up along the other side of the rocker up underneath here. And again, they put that spiral wound stuff around it so that it helps protect anywhere there's a bend so that it doesn't kink over. That's what that's for. Again, exhaust, dual exhaust from the long tube headers all the way back. You can see the tubing here, how nice it is. You can see again how good a condition the mufflers are. Looks to be all fairly new stuff underneath here. Again, you can see the front side of the rear end now. It's not all slopped up. It's nicely detailed underneath here, all painted black. And you can see there's no leaks here underneath for the rear end. As far as the transmission goes, as we get up here, the transmission cross member itself for the tail shaft, it's in excellent shape, nice and straight. It's not banged up in any means whatsoever. The actual tail shaft mount itself up here in good shape. That bushing up there, it's a nice, all new cushion support back here, I should say. The transmission itself, that is a Borg-Warner T10 4-speed manual transmission. And this one, just like all of our other cars, it's got the plate up here, the cover for the flywheel, so that no dirt or debris can get in and harm that flywheel whatsoever. Again, good safety feature, and we make sure that all of our cars have that on it. If it's not already there, we go ahead and we put one on it. Now that transmission is mounted up to a small block Chevy engine. We'll go ahead and get to that later as we have the car down and we go underneath the hood for that. Nice drive shaft here, all painted up black again, detailed up nice underneath here to make the underside all look good. The stock, the front, subframe rails here, you can see how nice those are. Nice and square and straight. They're not banged up whatsoever. Body mount bushings are in decent shape on this car too. And again, it's got the emergency brake all hooked up. So all the correct frame hardware, the J-hooks, cables run just as they should, and all the way back to those rear drum brakes on the car. So yeah, everything here underneath the center of the car looks good. If we take a little further look up front here, since all the steering components are behind the cross member, we can take a look at the tie rods here. Those are in excellent shape. Again, the little rubber dust boots, those are all intact the whole way across as they should be. Again, that's to keep the grease in and keep any dirt and debris out so you don't have any premature failure on any of the ball joints or connecting areas on that steering. The drag length, the pitman arm, all that stuff's in good shape here. Okay, and here we are now underneath the front end of our 72 Nova. So we'll just start over here on the passenger side, work our way across to the driver's side. Again, Mastercraft GT Avenger tires here, 215/70 R15s up front. Again, those are 15-inch steel factory rally wheels there too, with the beauty rings and centers. Inside of those wheels are the disc brakes. This is a power brake car, power discs up front. And then we have for suspension, this is going to be all stock factory stamped steel components. So your lower control arms, the upper A arms, those are all stock stamped steel components. We got front coils here, we got shocks up here. Not sure what name brand the shocks are. They're yellow, so could be like a Monroe shock or maybe even a Bilstein. They don't look like they're brand new, but they don't look to be too old either. So factory sway bar here, and that's in good condition. All the end links are good. The bushings are good on those. The frame mount bushings also are intact and in good condition on this car as well. Front cross member, you can see that it's in very good shape there too, all painted up. It's not nicked up in any way there, so it's in good shape. Front frame rails, also you can see how nice and square and straight those are. You don't see any kinks or anything. They're just as straight as can be on this car. So again, nothing's ever been touched on the front end here. So that's really about it to go over on the front end. We've gone over everything else throughout the underside of the car. So we'll go ahead and get this thing down off the lift now, take you around the outside. This car is really nice on the outside too. So all right, here we are now. We've got our 72 Nova SS style down off the lift, out in our photo studio now. So now we can go around, take you around the outside of this car, show you a little bit of the inside and what's sitting underneath the hood on this car. Again, 72, all black, nice shiny black paint on this car. And again, black, very hard to hide any kind of flaws whatsoever in bodywork. And if you look down the sides of this vehicle, across the top of it, you're not going to find a car that's much straighter than what this one is right here. Again, 72, all the panel fitment, very nice. You've got the front marker lights here, the lenses, those are in excellent shape. The bezels around those, the bright work in excellent shape too, nicely polished up. We've got the Mastercraft Avenger GT tires sitting on these 15-inch factory steel rally wheels. You can see they've got the beauty rings and the center caps on them as well. And all of these tires are all new, the tread's all good on them, and they are all matching front to rear. As we come back here with our door, you can check the fitment out here on your door. So you check the gaps on the front, and then you can check the gap here on the back, and you can see that that is very uniform, front and back. The elevations are dead on this car here. So again, they've done a real nice job fitting all the panels here. You'll see all the bright work up around the windows here, around the quarter window, and then the bright drip rail molding up around the top here of the roof. Again, all excellent shape. You don't see any dings or any scratches or anything on this. Everything's all nicely polished up here. Got both the driver and the passenger side mirror on this car. We'll see the other one as we get to the other side, but those are nicely polished up as well. We'll just open the door real quick here to take a quick peek inside. So again, you see the black followed through from the outside of the car. Weather stripping here on the door looks to be all new. There's no cracks or chips whatsoever out of this. You've got the little rubber bump stops on both the top and the bottom of the door. So when it closes, it fits nice and tight. Door panels, the seats, all the upholstery in this car looks to be either all refurbished or new stuff. Again, there's not a mark on the door panels on this car, all real nice. So we'll take a closer look as we go inside the car. Again, the door shuts nice and tight, good solid thud, so you know it's adjusted properly there. The big long quarter panels on this car, again, nice and straight. They've elected to go with the clean look without having those wheel moldings on here. So again, real nice and clean. You've got the bright work, the molding down the rocker panels here on this car. Again, that's nice and straight also on this car. Now on the back here, we've got a little bit bigger tire, but again, it's still all the matching name brand, matching tread. So on the back, we've got 235/70 R15s. The fronts were 215/70 R15. So gives it just a little bit of a rake just in the tires that it's sitting on. All right, here we are now around the back side of our 72 Nova SS style car here. Again, nice big trunk panel here to work with whenever they put this car together. They've got it fitted up real super nice and tight there. Again, your gaps, very uniform side to side. As a matter of fact, the whole way around your gap, even up here by the windshield, or the rear window, I should say, all real nice fitted. You know, elevations are good on the car. Again, you see the paint, nice, smooth, and shiny. You can see that whole panel there, as big as it is, and that black paint, again, very hard to disguise any imperfections in bodywork with a black car and big panels like this. So real nice everything there. The rear glass is in good shape on this car. I don't see any cracks. There's no chips in the back window. Your bright molding and trim work around that window, again, that's in nice condition as well. You don't see any scratches or any dents or dings in it. It's in real good shape. Down here a little further on our tail panel here, your tail lights on both sides, those are in excellent shape. The lens covers on them, there's no cracks or chips in those. The bezels around there are in pretty good shape too. Now they're a little bit of an older bezel, so you see a little bit of wear and tear on them. But again, they're polished up very well, so they all look good. Your bright work here around your trim, your molding on the tail panel, that's in good condition as well and polished up. And then you've got that black trim back here with your SS emblem right in the center. Again, nicely polished up chrome rear bumper here too. just to match up with the nice bumper on the front. At this time, we'll go ahead and open up the trunk. We'll just take a look inside. So again, up inside the trunk lid here itself, we've got that nice shiny black paint that's on the same on the exterior of the car. Your trunk seals the whole way around. This looks to be all new here too. Again, no cracks or chips or chunks out of that. So sealing up from the outside elements shouldn't be an issue with this car here whatsoever. Should be a nice tight fit the whole way around. As far as the interior of the trunk floor itself is in excellent shape. All one-piece trunk pan here, all solid. There's no patching, no holes whatsoever in here. It's got a light dusting of that black and aqua trunk spatter paint, just what should be back here. It's got a real nice trunk mat in here too, laid in here. Underneath the trunk mat, nice as well. No patching, just that light dusting of that black and aqua trunk spatter paint. We also have the floor mats in here for the car. We elected to take them out since the carpet's in such nice shape. We like to be able to show that in our photos, in our video for you. But just keep in mind that the floor mats are here in the trunk, so that if you decide to purchase this vehicle, you've got a set of floor mats to protect that nice carpeting. We'll go ahead and shut the trunk down. Closes nice and tight, good solid thud. Again, all adjusted up real nice. So now we'll go ahead and work our way up the passenger side of the car. All right, now that we're on the passenger side, again, this will be real quick up this side. Again, everything's gonna be the same as what we just went over on the driver's side. So again, starting here at the back and working our way forward, the big long quarter panels here, the side marker lights, the bezels are polished up real nice. The lenses in the marker lights, flawless, no cracks, no chips in those. Again, they've gone with the cleaner look without having those wheel lip moldings here. The 15-inch steel rally wheels with the beauty rings and the center caps. And those are the painted wheels, not the chrome ones. So they are painted, and that finish is real nice on both rear and front wheels. As far as our bright work goes, again, you can take a look at this side. So you have your drip rail moldings. You have the trim around the windows, around the corner window itself. And then you also have that bright rocker panel trim. And again, everything is just as straight as can be on this car. Again, we've said about that black paint and a car that has big long panels, very hard to mask any imperfections. And I don't see any on this car. I mean, you can look down the side. It's just as straight as can be on here. We'll go ahead and open this door up so we can do the same thing we did on the other side. Again, we've got that nice shiny black paint here on the inside of the door through the threshold area here. You got nice door sill plates in here, nice and straight. They look to be new. Again, the door panels look to be new. Seat upholstery, the carpeting, all of that stuff, all in excellent condition. And again, the little rubber bump stops over here on the door and your weather stripping the whole way around, all in excellent shape. And again, it appears to be all new. When you shut the door, again, it shuts with a nice solid thud. Again, your gaps here on the back side of the door and on the front side of the door all look to be pretty uniform. And again, your elevations are just as good as can be as I've seen on any vehicle here. Again, passenger side mirror to match up with our driver's side over there. The trim even around the windshield is in excellent shape too, nicely polished up. Front fenders, not much to talk about other than panel fitment. They look to be fitted up very nice back there according to the door, and even looking here with the top side of the hood, it all looks to be all lined up just about perfect on this car. And again, the Mastercraft Avenger GT tires. 215 70R15s on the front, 235 70R15s on the back, all 15-inch factory steel rally wheels. And finally, now here we are at the front end of the car, so we've made our way around the vehicle. And again, we'll take a look at this just like we do any other car. Front grille, first of all, on this Nova, it's in immaculate condition here. Where it's supposed to be bright, it's polished up very nice. Where it's supposed to be black in between is black. There's no missing paint. It's not banged up whatsoever. Looks to be new components up here. Again, the grille all solid, nothing broken or cracked in this grille, all solid one piece. Got the SS emblem right in the middle, where it's painted gray. It's supposed to be painted gray. It is, and that paint is in excellent condition. You see the big front bumper there, polished up real nice, chrome's immaculate on that. And then your marker, or your parking lights, I should say, down here, your lens covers for both of those, amber lenses, and they're in excellent shape. There's no cracks or chips out of those. Obviously, you see we've got a big steel SS hood there. It's got the louvers here, up here, and again, those are polished up super nice on this hood. Again, you can see how nice and flat and straight this hood is. Again, that black paint, it's hard to hide anything. Your gaps and elevations, so you see your gaps the whole way around, all the way from front, all the way to the back, very uniform the whole way up through. Your elevations are just about perfect on this. Again, sometimes, you know, with your hood fitment, you know, it has a little bit of variance there, but again, this one, not very much at all. So we'll go ahead and open our hood now, and we'll take a look at what powers this car here. Again, the underside of the hood real quick, painted up that nice shiny black as the rest of the exterior of the car. Now again, you've got the black inner fender wells, but they're more of like a flat black. That's how these cars work. The firewall itself is kind of like a flat black also. You've got an aluminum radiator sitting here. That's going to help pull the motor a lot more efficiently than what your standard copper or brass radiators would. You've got an Optima red top battery in here too, so a good battery for performance. They start nice every time, but you do have to run usually a little bit of a special charger with those. But as for the power plant in here, we've got a small block Chevy 350 motor that we've been told this has been bored, I believe 30 over, I think is what it was. Makes it a 355. So again, a nice running engine. You've got chrome air cleaner, you've got chrome valve covers on here, got a chrome water gooseneck on here as well. It's got an Edelbrock single feed 4-barrel carburetor with the electric choke here on the side. You've got an Edelbrock Performer RPM intake, that's aluminum. So again, you've got a little better performance there. It'll breathe and pull the gas a little bit better. And it's lighter too, so gets you a little bit of weight reduction under the hood. We've got long tube headers on this. So again, the headers will help open it up a little bit, let it breathe a little better. And again, we saw the underside of the car, the dual exhaust, dual mufflers, tailpipes out the rear of the car. So it gets that exhaust and the sound out the back of the car where it should be. Now as far as everything else underneath here, you do have your fill right here on the valve cover. On the other side, you've got the PCV valve. Got a real nice AN fitting fuel filter in here. So that'll make changing that out real super easy. Power brake car, it's power front disc brakes, drums in the back, power steering car as well. And then this particular car has, it's a 4-blade fan, steel fan, and a steep, they call it a 4-blade steep pitch fan. So it'll actually pull a lot of air because of the angle of the blades on there. So other than that, that's really about it from underneath the hood here. All right, here we are now sitting inside our 72 Nova. Now again, you're going to get a chance to see how nice this thing is on the inside as well. Door panels, first and foremost, they look to be all new. There is not a mark on those. They're in perfect condition. Got a little bit of wood grain trim right through the top of them there, just to set things off a little bit, but real nice door panels. Got this all black dash pad on top here. Again, it's in perfect condition. There's no cracks in this, or you know, from the sun drying it off. It's not faded. Again, this looks to be all new stuff here. A Grant GT steering wheel here. Nice little touch. You know, you've got a real thick pad here to get your hands wrapped around. So you know, it feels like you've got something in your hand there. As far as the dash goes, it's factory dash, factory instrumentation. You've got a factory fuel gauge, the factory 120-mile-an-hour speedometer. We also have the factory heater controls here as well, and those heater lines were hooked up under the hood there as well. As far as the radio goes, they have upgraded the radio a little bit in here. We've got an aftermarket AM, FM, CD player, and then in the back, in the package tray, you've got a set of Boss speakers, look to be sort of like 6x9 speakers back there. So your sound, you should have a little bit of upgraded sound quality there. Now we do have a few aftermarket gauges here. We've got an aftermarket oil pressure gauge, voltmeter, and water temperature gauge down here, mounted right up underneath the underside of the dash. Now these cars didn't have those gauges in the regular instrument panel, so obviously this particular individual wanted to be able to keep an eye on that stuff. And again, the motor is a really nice motor, good running motor, so why not keep an eye on everything and make sure everything's good to go. Again, the rest of the dash is just in perfect condition. The carpeting, again, that's probably new stuff. All black carpeting, there's no tears or anything in this thing. It's immaculate. The seats, front bucket seats, you can see there's no cracks or tears in any of the upholstery. They're just as nice as what they could be new, and as a matter of fact, they probably are new. And that's both front and the back. Again, the package tray, excellent condition. The headliner, nice and tight, pulled up, just as it should be up here. Again, there's nothing that's hanging down. There's no holes, no tears in this. Again, this is all probably brand new. Your sun visors, those are in excellent shape as well. You've got a Hurst 4-speed shifter in here. And again, we've already been over this, but that's connected to that BorgWarner T10 transmission that's in there, 4-speed manual. All the seat belts are present, so you've got all your lap belts for the front seats, all the lap belts in the rear seat as well. And other than that, that seems to be about it here on the inside. I think we've covered everything. If I have missed anything, I apologize, but I think we've got it all here. So with that said, all we have left now is just to go ahead and start this up. So we'll do that. In the meantime, after seeing the photos and watching the video, if you've got any questions at all, definitely feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. All of our contact information will be made available to you throughout all the photos and video and on our website as well.